It's ready.
One day, as I was walking through Bed Bath & Beyond, I saw something that caught my eye. It was a huge popcorn machine that you could put in your house. Then I saw the price and walked away. However, right around the corner, I saw this thing called the Whirly Pop. I looked up some reviews and talked myself into buying it. I've been hooked ever since. After months of practice, I've learned to make tons of different types of homemade popcorn. I'm sure most of you have had microwave popcorn before, but you don't get the true experience until you make it yourself. By making homemade popcorn, you can make it just the way you like it. Using a Whirly Pop or a regular pot, you can make tons of different types of popcorn, including kettle corn, butter popcorn, and cheddar popcorn. I'm sure you're probably wondering what this thing is and how it works. It's called the Whirly Pop Stovetop Popcorn Popper. The Whirly Pop website claims that it makes twice as much as the average bag of microwave popcorn in less than 3 minutes. When you first get your Whirly Pop, you need to season it. You do this by adding a tablespoon of vegetable oil and tilting the pan around to coat all the edges. Heat it up for about 20 seconds and then wipe out the extra oil. This information can be found on the Wabash Valley Farms website. The great thing about microwave popcorn is that you can make whatever kind of popcorn your heart desires. I'm going to start with teaching you my personal favorite, kettle corn. It's super simple to make. All you need is vegetable oil, popcorn kernels, sugar, and salt. You start by pouring 1/4 of a cup of vegetable oil in the pan and putting it on medium to high heat. Next, you put in 1/2 cup of popcorn kernels and then 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Immediately close the lid and start turning the handle. What this does is spins a bar around at the very bottom of the pan where the sugar and kernels are. You want to spin this continuously throughout the whole process so your popcorn doesn't burn. If you're using a regular pot, you need to shake it every few seconds to prevent the burning. After about a minute or so, your popcorn will start to pop. Once you can no longer turn the handle and all the popping stops, immediately turn off the heat and transfer it to a different bowl. If you wait too long to transfer it, all the sugar will caramelize and the popcorn will get stuck together. The last step is to add salt and it's ready to eat. This recipe can be found on the PBS Food website. Another great thing about making homemade popcorn is that if this recipe doesn't turn out exactly the way you like it, you can always switch up the amount of sugar or salt you put in it until you get it perfect. The next recipe I'm going to teach you how to make today is butter popcorn. Unlike kettle corn, you're going to put the kernels and oil along with a teaspoon of Flavorful before you put it on heat. According to the Just Poppin' website, Flavorful is the movie theater industry's standard seasoning for popcorn. It gives the popcorn a buttery and salty taste. Once everything is in the pan, put it on medium to high heat. Just like kettle corn, turn the handle continuously until all the popping stops, then transfer it to a different bowl. Next, you're going to drizzle melted butter and give it a few shakes. The last step is to add salt. However, it's always smart to taste it before you put too much because the Flavorful has a very salty flavor. You can find kettle corn and butter popcorn in microwavable bags, but a popcorn that's much harder to find is cheddar popcorn. To make cheddar popcorn, you need oil, kernels, cheddar cheese powder, mustard powder, butter, and salt. You start by pouring the kernels and oil and then making your popcorn just like you did in the previous 2 popcorns. So when all the popping is stopped, transfer it to a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. From there, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter, 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese powder, a pinch of mustard powder, and salt. Seal the bag and shake it until all the popcorn is coated with the cheddar powder. You can pour it into a different bowl or eat it right from the bag. This recipe can be found on the Food Network website. Kettle corn, butter popcorn, and cheddar popcorn are all easy to make at home on the stove. By making homemade popcorn, you can switch up the recipe to make it just the way you like it. Whether you use a Whirly Pop or a regular pot, your popcorn will be fresher than microwave popcorn, and you can have lots of fun in the process.